Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. I don't think I need to tell you that the NFL season is always full of surprises, unpredictable twists, and moments that can define a team's entire year. But what we're witnessing right now with the San Francisco 49ers is something that's not just a blip on the radar. It's a seismic shift that could have repercussions not only for this season but for years to come. The 49ers, after starting the season undefeated at 3-0, have hit a major snag, and it's all centered around one of their most critical players, Nick Bosa. You see, the 49ers just pulled off a gritty, hard-fought victory against the Arizona Cardinals, a game that showcased their resilience, especially considering the significant injuries they've had to deal with. Even without key players like quarterback Brock Purdy, tight end George Kittle, and wide receivers John Jennings and Brandon Ayuk, they managed to scrape out a win. And let me tell you, that's not easy in the NFL. It speaks volumes about the depth and grit of this team, but that victory was overshadowed by some very troubling news about Nick Bosa. Bosa, who's been arguably the best edge rusher in the league over the past few seasons, had to leave the game in the first quarter with what looked like a serious knee injury. You could see the concern on his face as he was walking off the field, heading into the blue medical tent, and then walking to the locker room. That image, that moment, sent shockwaves through the fanbase and the entire NFL community. Initial reports suggested it might not be a season-ending injury, but as we soon found out, the reality was much more severe. On Monday, the news broke that Nick Bosa had torn his ACL, and that means he will miss the entire season. That's right, folks, a torn ACL, a devastating blow, not just for Bosa personally, but for the 49ers as a team. This is actually the second time Bosa has torn his ACL in the same knee, the first being back in 2020, and now history repeats itself in a different context. But the impact is just as significant. Bosa is not just a talented player, he's the heartbeat of that defensive line, a leader on and off the field, and a cornerstone of the 49ers' defense. This injury is an enormous setback for the team. The 49ers have built one of the most formidable defenses in recent years, and Bosa has been at the center of that. With 64.5 sacks in 85 career games, including 18 sacks in 2022, he's been a consistent force, a nightmare for quarterbacks and a catalyst for the 49ers' pass rush. His ability to collapse the pocket and force turnovers has made him a perennial Pro Bowler, a first-team All-Pro, and the 2019 Defensive Rookie of the Year. His 2019 season was historic, with 19 sacks, and he's been a dominant presence ever since. Now, losing someone of that caliber leaves a huge void. The 49ers are going to need to find a way to replace that production and leadership. They can't simply plug anyone into Bosa's spot and expect the same results. This is where the discussions get really interesting, because the 49ers are known for their innovative ways of filling gaps, whether through draft picks, internal development, or strategic trades. Right now, the focus is turning to the possible options they might have to fill that void, and one name that's been gaining attention is Shaquil Barrett. Barret, a veteran pass rusher, is currently a free agent after spending 5 productive seasons with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's a player with a lot of experience, a guy who's been a consistent threat in the pass rush, and someone who's been recognized as one of the league's top edge rushers in the past. From 2019 to 2021, Barret was outstanding, accumulating a total of 37.5 sacks over those 3 seasons, including a league-leading 19.5 sacks in 2019. That year, he was also named to the Pro Bowl and finished 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. However, in recent years, Barrett's production has dipped a bit. Over the past 3 seasons, he's recorded just 7.5 sacks, which might seem like a decline at first glance. But it's important to understand the context. Football, especially pass rushing, is a physically demanding role, and injuries, team schemes, and other factors come into play. Barrett had a brief stint with the Miami Dolphins after being released by the Buccaneers in March 2024, but he announced his retirement that July. Yet, as many NFL fans know, retirement isn't always permanent, and Barrett reapplied for reinstatement toward the end of 2024. He was waived by the Dolphins and then re-signed by the Buccaneers in December, playing a limited but notable role in their final regular season game and the playoff loss to Washington. So, despite the recent ups and downs, Barrett still has that elite talent, and given his resume, he could be an ideal fit for the 49ers, especially in the context of needing an experienced leader on the defense. What makes Barrett particularly appealing is not just his past production but his leadership qualities. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion, having experienced the highest levels of success in the NFL, and he's been a vocal leader in the locker room. At 32, he's not the youngest anymore, but he's still got enough in the tank to contribute significantly. His career totals speak for themselves: over 59 sacks, 22 forced fumbles, and a reputation as a clutch performer in big moments. Now, let's put that into perspective with Bosa. Bosa, as a five-time Pro Bowler, has been a game-changer since entering the league. His 64, 5 sacks and 13 forced fumbles in just 85 games tell you how disruptive he's been. Bosa has also been a leader on the field, earning the Defensive Rookie of the Year award in 2019 and the Defensive Player of the Year in 2022. The comparison isn't perfect, of course, but it highlights just how impactful Bosa has been and why the 49ers are so desperate to find a capable replacement. Bringing in Barrett could be a smart move, not only because of his on-field experience, but also because of his leadership qualities. The 49ers have a young, talented group of pass rushers, but adding a veteran like Barrett, who has been through the highs and lows of the NFL, could provide the stability and mentorship that the team needs right now. It's a move that could help keep the defensive front strong, especially in critical moments of the season when every sack and turnover counts. Now, thinking about the bigger picture, this injury and potential acquisition come at a pivotal time for the 49ers. They are still in a strong position to contend, with a solid core led by Purdy, Kittle, and other key players. But the defense is the backbone that has carried the team for years, and Bosa's absence puts a spotlight on whether the team's depth can handle such a significant loss. If they can bring in someone like Barrett, with his proven track record and leadership, it might just be enough to keep the defense formidable and the team on track for another deep playoff run. This situation also sparks a lot of questions about the team's strategy moving forward. Will they invest heavily in free agency? Will they look to the trade market, or will they give opportunities to some of the younger players already on the roster? The front office's decisions in the coming weeks will be critical. The NFL is a league where depth and adaptability often determine success, especially when injuries strike at the most inopportune moments. And let's not forget, the 49ers have a history of overcoming adversity. From their dominant run to the Super Bowl in recent years to navigating injuries and roster changes, they've shown resilience. But this Bosa injury is a real test. It's a challenge that will require not just strategic moves, but also a mindset of perseverance. The coaching staff, led by head coach Kyle Shanahan, will need to get creative, possibly shifting some responsibilities around and trusting the depth of their roster to step up. In the end, this story isn't just about a single player or a single game. It's about a team that's built for resilience, a team that's still in the hunt for another Super Bowl appearance, and a team that's going to have to dig deep to overcome this latest obstacle. The addition of a veteran like Barrett could be the spark they need to keep their defensive machine running smoothly. It's a reminder that in the NFL, nothing is set in stone, and every challenge is an opportunity to prove your true character. So fans, what do you think about this situation? Are you confident that the 49ers can weather the storm without Bosa? Do you believe Barrett can step in and make an immediate impact? Or maybe you think they should explore other options? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion really matters. We love hearing from you, and your insights help shape the conversation around this incredible team. And remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and the latest news from the San Francisco 49ers. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep the 49ers spirit alive. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news.